Okay, so we were talking about the archive database. So we have two different databases here. One is AvidWG and there's AvidAM. If you don't have that here, sometimes it'll happen where you've only got one database. You can double-click databases. Sorry, right-click databases and choose Connect. Then you can choose the database server you want to connect to. We're almost always connecting to the IE01, but AE01 is the secondary one. So I just click this and then hit OK, and it comes up and says, who are you and what are you doing here? So we're going to log on as Sydney, and then the password is going to be here. And then we get the second database. So that's how we get two different databases. So if we go into daily, we spin it down, we see, oh, there's 2015 and there's 2016 dailies. So if I click on 2016 dailies, I can see some projects there, but more importantly, everything's going to kind of be dumped in right here. So we see all of our daily shows, right? So here's CAD, and I can sort these based on content type. So I can come in and say, let me sort all of my sequences. So here's the sequence. So here's the sequence that I want. So let's say I'm happy with the sequence and I want to restore it. I right-click on the sequence, and then I choose Restore. It pops open a restore window, and I say, yep, it's going to go to the AvidWG, and then I get a user profile. Because before that, it didn't show me the user profile. It didn't pop in. So I come in and say, give me the full restore, or partial. Full means give me every frame necessary. So if it's a 3-hour-long show, and it used 6 hours of the material, it brings back every frame. Partial restores says, bring me only back what I need. So if it used only 2 frames of an hour-long piece, it'll only bring back those 2 frames. So I can choose partial. So we can choose partial and then hit OK, and when we do that, then it tees up the tape and then restores it. An intelligent person may go, well, where does it go when it restores it? So let's take a look at our interplay settings. So if I go under View, whenever we hit Archive, it brought up our workgroup properties. Actually, not our workgroup properties, our media services status. So let me see why my media services status isn't showing up. So I'm going to click on Unobject. It doesn't matter which one it is, any object. Then I go under Edit, View, Media Services Status. So this pops up. So this brings up, we're familiar with this guy. So this is our archive. So here we see some things didn't finish archiving properly, which is fine. It's just the part of the road here that things don't always go as planned. Some things are archiving successfully. So as I roll down here, I can see they are archiving successfully. Some things didn't. We'll look at those in a minute. So this is still archiving right here. So it's moving right along. It's great. So what we can do now is we're going to look at our profile. So if I click on Profiles, I have Archive Service. So we looked at these a minute ago. We had Daily Archive Show 2015, Daily Archive Show 2016. What it really is doing here is it says, when you're archived successfully, send to the Archive Engine database, put it in the Avid Archive Engine database in the Daily folder under 2016. So that's how I'm organizing it, is I'm just telling it where to go. Nothing fancy. The partition is PROD1. This is an under the hood setting, but this is how we determine what tape group it goes on in SGL. Skip motion effects, highest quality to be archived. It says restored there, but that's what it meant. But it means to be archived. So I can also click on the restore service. So inside the restore service, I have my full and partials. Full, what's happening is it says when you retrieve the file, my archive engine primary is here. You're going to the interplay engine 01. It's going to go to the AvidWG catalogs restore folder, mainly because it doesn't know where it came from. So anytime I restore anything, it's always going to go into my catalog. This is our restore, and this is where it will pop in. So it just goes straight here. So from here, you drag it into your interplay session, and you start working. So that's where all of our archives are housed. These profiles can be updated at any time. You can add new profiles if you want to. Obviously, 2017 is going to be necessary. We can do spots. We can do whatever we want. But this is just organization and how it's going to get there from an archive perspective. Because when I right-click something and hit archive, that's what it pulls. It pops up and says, hey, what profiles do you have, and it pulls from that same list. Dome captures, spots, WCCI archives. See, all these same settings.